Good evening, fellow food lovers. It's Claire from Claire's Food Haven. I'm really excited tonight. We're going to be cooking a roast duck dinner. We bought this full duck from Sainsbury's for £6 with our nectar card, or it's £9 without your nectar card. Still a really great price. Let's have a look at the ingredients. We have a whole duck, 2 oranges. We're going to be serving the meat with some broccoli and roast potatoes. For the orange sauce, we're going to be using an onion, some orange juice, red wine, brown sugar and corn flour. And there should be enough meat on that duck for 4 servings, but for tonight's meal with the vegetables and everything, I'm making enough food for 2 servings. You can scan that QR code on the duck and it brings up a free recipe book online. However, the recipe I'm following tonight is a hairy biker recipe from the BBC. The first step is to grate one of the oranges, just to grate some of the rind off it. I'm going to be roasting the duck in the air fryer. These are its giblets, already in a bag. So the air fryer that I'm using, it has these, which is useful. So I'm just going to put the duck straight onto those. This duck is a very fatty meat, so when you roast it, it kicks out a lot of fat. So if you were going to roast this in the oven, you would ideally want to put it on quite a deep baking tray, you know, because it's going to kick out a lot of fat, on top of some sort of a rack. That would be ideal. If you haven't got a rack, it's okay. You can still roast the duck in your oven tray in the oven. That will work fine. So the orange that I peeled, well, grated, I'm going to put half of it in and leave the other half out. Now the recipe I followed online said you need to cook the duck for an hour and a half altogether, and I think the recommended cooking time on this packet is 1 hour and 46 minutes. So I'm going to pop it on for 40 minutes first, because then we're going to be taking the juices out. I will roast it. If we put it on 180, I'll do 35 minutes because it is an air fryer, so it does cook things quite a bit quicker. Meanwhile, I will parboil some potatoes for roasting later on. Just start by peeling them and chopping them up into small pieces. I forgot to do something really important. I forgot to score the skin like this. We don't want to cut it too deep, but it's just so that the fat gets into the skin when it's cooking and it'll go a nice crispy brown colour. So I meant to do this at the start, folks. But better late than never. So put some salt in it. There we go. Back to the potatoes. We're just going to put them in a pan of water and put them on to boil for 10 minutes. Lid on. potatoes were boiling for about 10 minutes and I've just drained them and we're going to set them aside for a bit to cool down. Let's have a look at this duck. It's sounding very good in there. Oh, wow. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to just tip this to drain some of the juices out of it. And then I'm going to put the duck onto the board just for a second. I'm just getting a pan. I'm going to pour the juices into this pan. Should be quite a bit. Just put this back. Again, just being careful with everything. It's obviously everything's hot. Look at all that fat, amazing. And it's not finished cooking yet, it's still got it's about halfway done, I think. Okay, now I'm going to put the duck back into the air fryer. Going on the roast setting, we'll turn it down to 150 for half an hour. The roast potatoes, I'm just going to put a little bit of this duck fat on them. We're going to pop these into the air fryer. Well, let's have a look at this duck and see if it's cooked. So I have got a smart thermometer here by Kozori, which I'm just going to try for the first time. Oh, excellent. We've got an internal temperature of 71 there. 65 degrees is what we want, 65 degrees Celsius for well done. So that's definitely cooked. I'll pop it on the other side. Yeah. Okay, it's showing a good temperature there. I will lift this duck out and pop it onto the board for now. Just tip the juices out into the pan. I'm going to lift it onto this chopping board. And back to the potatoes. These look like they could do with a little bit longer. I'll drain these juices into this pan. Just be cooking them on one side. Try 5 minutes for now, see how they go. We'll let the duck rest. Now to make the orange sauce. Put that onto a medium heat. Now I will finally chop this onion. Put that into the frying pan. Use this. We'll look at the potatoes, they look good at the moment. We're also going to be having some broccoli with this, so I've just taken the ends off and put this on to boil. We'll also juice this orange. The hairy bike recipe is orange liqueur and red wine at this stage. I haven't got any orange liqueur, so I thought I would just use some orange juice from this freshly squeezed orange. Turn the heat up a little bit. I'm also going to add a little bit of orange peel that I've grated earlier on into this. About 100 ml of water. A little orange juice I'm going to add in as well. Add a tablespoon of flour into this bowl, corn flour into this bowl here. Put a little bit of water in there, mix it into a paste. I've got a heat resistant mat here which I'm just going to use just to pop this on here for a moment. Now you could use a sieve for this, but I've got a colander that's a bit like a sieve which will do a job. And then we're going to tip that into there. Just going to turn that down because it's bubbling away there. Now the roast potatoes I'm going to pop on again, just on a... They could have done with a few more minutes. I'm just putting them on now to show you. Roast them. Just on a low heat for 5 minutes. Pop the corn flour mix into here now to thicken it up. I need to keep stirring it. A bit more orange juice. Sugar. Put a generous teaspoon in there. Just stir all that in. Everything else. Oh wow, I think this is going to be nice. Yeah, that's bubbling now, so we're going to turn that off. Set that to one side a second. One of us doesn't like orange sauce, so I'm going to make a cheese sauce for one of the plates tonight. Just a quick little cheese sauce to show you how I do this. Just heat a little bit of milk up in the pan. Add just under a tablespoon of corn flour into a bowl with a drizzle of milk. Mix that into a paste. Milk's starting to heat up already, so I'm just going to tip it into the bowl with the corn flour mix and put that back into the pan like that, and we're going to keep stirring it until it thickens. There we go, that's bubbling already. Right, missing a vital ingredient though. We haven't done any cheese on it yet, so I'm just going to turn that off for now. It's really, really hot. I want you off. There you go. Time to grate some cheese. Pop that into the cheese sauce. Okay. And we'll pop it back in the heat and stir that in. But it's time to carve the duck. Looks lovely. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Cooked nice all the way through. Nice bit of leg meat there. Falling off the bone. Oh, looks delicious. You can see it's a very fatty meat duck. There's a lot of fat in there. Whoops! Oh, brilliant. There's an orange on the loose, and it's running into this hoose. Lovely. Looks beautiful. down the broccoli. Whoops. I've got the orange sauce for this one. And the cheese sauce for this one. Roast duck dinner or duck l'orange. Bon appetit. That was delicious. The duck tasted fantastic. The sauces that I made were beautiful, and the roast potatoes cooked in the duck fat tasted great. All in all, a fantastic meal. The only thing I would say about the duck is at first glance it looked like there would be enough meat on it for 4 servings, but you would struggle to get 3 adult servings out of that duck. Other than that, a fantastic meal.